Hi everyone! Today we are going to assemble a PC, install an operating system on it, and connect it to a printer together with a laptop. Oh, by the way, this is
TechTalk!
Hi! Let's start with the parts of desktop computer. First up, we have, of course, the case. Computer case, also known as a computer chassis, tower, system unit, cabinet, base unit, or simply case, is the enclosure that contains most of the components of a computer. It is very important to know that there are types of PC cases. They are ranged from mini, micro, mid, to full-size towers. Every type of cases has different sizes, number of ports, and spaces.
Next, we have the power supply. The primary function of a power supply is to convert main AC to low voltage regulator DC power for the internal components of a computer. To make that simple, this is provider of needed power to all computer components. We can give you 3 important factors to consider when choosing perfect power supply for your computer. First, the wattage. Calculate the needed wattage and it should be compatible with your power supply. Second, the price. In general, setting aside between 10 to 15% of the total system build is a good cost per performance ratio. And lastly, the rating. You may need to consider long-term energy savings, so you need to make sure that you can consider the efficiency of your power supply.
Then we have the motherboard. This is also known as the main board, system board, base board, planner board, or logic board, but some just call it MOBO. The main purpose of MOBO is to hold and allow communication between many of the crucial electronic components of a system such as the central processing unit, memory, and provide connectors for other peripherals. Well, the most important thing to consider is that everything you attach to the motherboard should be compatible with it. Examples are the form, the layout, number of sockets, and wattages.
Now, we have the central processing unit, or the processor or CPU for most of us. CPU is the electronic circuitry within a computer that carries out the instructions of computer programming by performing the basic arithmetic, logical, control, and input-output operations specified by the instruction. To make simple, CPU is the brain of the computer. In choosing CPU, you can consider the CPU size, chipset size, add-ons, and for some, the brand.
Of course, we don't want our components to get so hot. So, next up is the cooling system of our unit. There are different types of air cooling system that we can use for our unit. We have piezoelectric pumps, liquid cooling system, waste heat reduction, heat sinks, Peltier cooling, and in this case, we have fans. It is also important to understand each and every cons and pros of different cooling system to know which one you need. You may not be considering having a liquid cooling system for just basic home use to PCs but for gamers. Most of them prefer liquid system.
Next is the random access memory, or what we call the RAM. RAM is a form of computer data storage that stores the machine code currently being used. RAM is basically the temporary memory storage of the unit, which means that stored information is lost when there is no power. Some of us think that the higher RAM, the faster your computer can work. Think again. The only thing that additional RAM does is allow your computer to do more things at once, not actually make it faster. Keyword, multitasking. In choosing the right RAM, consider compatibility to your motherboard, the size that you need, the type of your RAM, the slots, and of course, the price.
We also have the expansion and the adapter slots. Expansion card or adapter slots are printed circuit board that can insert it into an electrical connector or expansion slot on a computer motherboard. The main function of this is to add functionality to a computer system via the expansion bus.
Next is the storage device. There are different types of storage devices that we can use for our units depending on your preference and its availability in the market. There are solid-state drive, network-attached storage, optical drives, and in our unit here, we have HDD or the hard disk drive. In choosing memory to choose, you can consider the space, the type that you need, speed, and of course, the price. Unlike the RAM, we can permanently write data in the hard drive without erasing them off power.
Lastly, for the internal components of a PC, we want to show you the general ports. The main function of general ports is to provide connectivity between the motherboard and various external devices, such as printers, external storage, and video cameras.
Aside from internal components of a PC, we also have external components of the computer. Here we have a keyboard. Well, we know this is for typing, right? Or like bashing out a person using this. Well, just kidding. Well, we also need a mouse, of course. And we also need a speaker for some because they need to hear music and generally for sounds. Well, for some, they also need cameras, headphones, they also need microphones, others printers, scanners, and multiple displays. Oh, hi there. Now that we already know the basic internal and external components of a computer, we can now try to assemble it. But before we proceed, we want to give you some safety procedures when assembling a personal computer. Well, for general safety, we need to make sure that a first aid kit is available just in case, of unexpected scenarios. And by the way, we also need to make sure that there are no unsecured cables that can create tripping hazards.
Oh, wait! Aray! Kanino abli to? Ba't kalakalan? Asagya! Aray!
Sorry for that, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Unsecured cables. Anyway, also we need to remove jewelries if you have, because these can trigger static charges. Well, that's all for general safety.
For electrical safety, we need to be much aware of our surroundings. Static electricity is the biggest danger to the expensive parts you are about to assemble. You might not want to ruin your i7 processor just because of naughty static charges. How to prevent this? If you have an anti-static wrist strap, use it. If you don't have any, here are the practical tips for you. First, remove your jewelries. These can trigger static charges. Also, do not work on a carpeted floor. Take note as well as that the metal case of your PC's power supply will usually be a suitable grounded object. So touch it every few minutes while you are working on your PC to discharge it. Power supplies are dangerous when deassembled, so be careful. Work in a cool area, use proper tools for assembling the system to prevent risking your components. And lastly, make sure that your hands are dry and clean before touching any component, please.
We're now on this part where we assemble a PC or a portable computer. Before starting to assemble the components, please refer to the previous chapter of this video about safety precautions. So, now, let's start. Make sure that your surroundings will be ideal for assembling. Then let's start to open the case. There are also different methods for opening cases depending on their type. You can consult the case manual for it.
Next, let us install the power supply. Again, the position of the power supply depends on the case that you choose. So you can always get to the manual. Let's install it.
Now, for the motherboard. Practical thing to do this part is to install first the RAM, the CPU, and the heatsink to the board before attaching it to the case. So let's do it, guys! Perfect! Now we can install the motherboard in the case. Please make sure that we are going to use proper tools for this.
Hi guys, next up is for the storage drive. Here we have hard disk drive. Usually internal drives like this are installed in empty hard drive bays on your PC case. Make sure that the empty bay will match the size of your hard drive. Please leave some space between drives when installing multiple drives. Also, the drive's metal plate should face up to allow better heat dissipation.
Next thing that we'll install here is our graphic adapter card. Many of video cards require an internal power supply. I'm pretty sure that some of you guys are gamers out of there, and a great video card will be very useful for you. So, let's install it.
Now, this can't work if we don't have power for our components. So let's now connect power to the motherboard, internal drive, and case fans by connecting internal cables.
So, we have already installed the internal components of the PC and we have already reassembled the case. Next thing to do is to install the external cables. External cables include video cable, USB cables, network cables, speakers, and microphones.
Hi guys, we're back. So in this part, I'll show you how to install an operating system on the PC we just assembled. But before anything else, if your operating system is still working, please make sure that you have a backup of your current operating system. So what we did is we downloaded Windows 8.1 image on this flash drive. This flash drive was recently converted to a bootable flash drive. That's basically the first part that you need to do now. Now, we are going to insert the bootable flash drive in this PC and restart it. Once the PC is opened up, let's open the BIOS menu. By the way, depending on the mobile's manufacturer, there are different ways on how to go to your PC's BIOS menu. For some, it's F2, F1, escape button, or in this case, it's delete button. Here, we are now on the BIOS menu. Again, depending on the manufacturer, there are different BIOS interfaces that you will encounter. In this case, we have an ASUS manufacturer, and what we are going to do here is to choose our flash drive to boot and install our operating system. So let's do it. Now, to easily explain everything, we will just record the screen and show you everything you need to do.
Hi everyone, this is Jonathan from TechTalk, and what we're gonna do now is to try to install Windows 8.1. So as we said, we have here a screen recorder, so let's start. The first part is this, and the next screen that you will see will be for the language, the time, and the keyboard input. You don't need to do anything special here, just click next. Just click that, and here all we need to do is to just hit install button to proceed the installation. Windows 8 now will begin to start up. Now the next screen that you will see will be asking for a product key. Unlike in Windows 7, Windows 8 doesn't offer you a free trial. Luckily, we got a genuine key from one of our friends, so we'll do that, but we will skip that on the recording part. Next, we have the Microsoft Software License Terms and Agreements. You know, all these stuff and terms that you don't really need to read. There are a lot of it, yeah. If you really want to get this operating system on your unit, we don't have a choice but to accept. Now, what we're going to do here is not an upgrade, but a custom install. It says here advanced. It's not really advanced though. Now, Windows will automatically partitions and formats the drive for you, so you don't need to do that. And it's doing it now. We just need to wait for it for a few minutes. Now, I think it's done. And there you go, it's trying to reboot now. Sometimes the installation process would require multiple rebooting. Now it's trying to do more changes, and will ask you to personalize stuff like the color of your OS, sometimes the name, all those stuff. It's trying to make some more changes on your PC. So PC name, let's just go. Any name will do. Then we'll click next. Now I think it detected our wireless connection, so we can just choose that. Then let's connect, of course, for the password. Okay. Now, by default, Windows is going to set all these settings for you. If you want, you can change all of these manually. But for now, I'm just going to go by what it is recommending and use Express settings here. You can customize it anytime you want. I won't do that now. And here, I won't do this because it wants me to sign my email. You can actually do that anytime you want, but for now, I'm gonna go sign in without a Microsoft account. And here, let's just go for a local account. Here, it's asking for a username. Now, the username and the PC name cannot be the same. So I think we'll just put user word here. and that'll be fine. Now for the password, you can set that up, but I won't do that now, maybe later. If you set up a password, it will ask for it every time you open up your PC, so I won't do that now. Just click finish for now, okay? But you can set a password anytime you want. So it's now finalizing. Now it starts to talk to us. I think it's just a way of installing everything while we're waiting. Check out the new way to use Windows. Okay. I'll try that later. Let's start. Oh wow, then bingo! We have the Windows 8 title screen up and running. This is beautiful. Now this is ready to be used.
Okay guys, there you have it. The operating system is properly installed, and as you can see, it's working perfectly fine. And so, what I can suggest is to personalize your computer. I highly recommend doing a Windows update. Since that process is pretty long, I would not show it anymore, but you can do it yourself. Now, since we're done, that's it for OS installation.
Hi everyone, we are here in a printing shop. We are going to show you how we can network multiple clients to one printer.
So, what are we waiting for? Come!
Hi guys, we're on the last part of this video. This is about networking two units and sharing printer. First, we connected a PC and a laptop using a crossover type of UTP cable. Then we open the network and sharing center of the first unit. Then let's go to the properties of its local area connection. Then after that, we open the properties of its Internet Protocol version 4. Please make sure that you will open the right protocol for that. Now, we will obtain first an IP address, and then let's set up an IP address for this client. Here, we will set it up as 192.168.1.1. And now for the subnet mask, all we need to do is to just click that and the default address will show up. After that, we just need to click OK to apply the changes. Next, we'll just do the same settings on the second unit, which is our desktop computer. Again, let's go to the Network and Sharing Center, click Local Area Connection, Properties, then go to the Internet Protocol version 4 properties and set up an IP address. Now the difference here is that we will change the IP address from 192.168.1.1 to 192.168.1.2. Also, we need to make sure that the home group name will be the same for both of the units. Now, just to show you that the two clients can now see each other's networks, we can go here to network section and see that we can view the two units together. It's just the same here on the second unit. And finally, for the last part, we will try to print two documents, one from the first unit and one from the other unit by just using the same printer. Let's try that. First document from the first unit is successful. Now let's try the second one. There you go.
Guys, that's all for networking and printers.
And it's time to say bye-bye now.
And once again, this is
Bigger fiber.
Oh, game.
Madagsan yun.
Guys, this is behind the scene footage.
Kunin na yun, tumasin na wabinas. Sabi mo, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Ilang araw, naglolo ko na naman sa seminar. Tapos nagpapabay na naman ng 1,000.
Lights, camera, okay?
First up, we have, of course, the keys.
Ang prompter, mga kaibigan, nakita natin ang prompter natin, Mr. Harvey. Guys, behind the scenes. We got a friend here from US. Yeah.
Mga kaibigan, ito na. Yung last take namin, ito na yun.
So guys, be back here again with another. Mamaya lang. Sige, bye-bye.